Before we begin, I want you to create an image in your mind when I say the word balloon. Chances are you think of a singular, untied, maybe red or yellow balloon against a bright and clear blue sky. Today, I intend to talk to that little voice in your head, dear listener. The same voice which perhaps at this very moment thought of an object as simple and as straightforward as a balloon and connected it to a deeper reality of human existence. Our mind craves simplicity against a hopeful backdrop. Even when given full free will, we tend to focalize on one and craft it in an environment that is creative, visionary, and unconstrained. Our elastic imaginations, no pun intended, bring me to the intent behind this video. It is always said that we see the world not as it is, but as we are. But these uniquely individual filters and features that we bring to every issue facing us is colored by one commonality, and that is being human and the capability of unlearning and reasoning and relearning. A whole range of problems such as climate change and socio-economic inequity that intersects identity, cultures and races are thrown our way as we make sense of the world around us. We collectively decide to achieve ambitious and well-meaning goals, but in this process, we tend to lose salience of the very fact that all destruction, all change, and all progress start not from society, not from an abstract idea of a third person villain or a hero. It starts with the words taught to us and the words that we use for ourselves and others. Our thought patterns are oriented to global and national problems, and they are constantly constructed to receive and to respond in a way that is socially acceptable and fits the mold of our collective concept of rationality. At a lot of junctures in our lives, we are faced with one problem, and that is accepting the hard truth that while we cannot change our externalities, we cannot predict the future, but we can change how we choose to react and reason with it. And this involves being kind to ourselves and using words that are tempered with consideration and love and care for the other side. Because in the other sphere of reality, their vision is the truest distillation of what life and their experiences have taught them. Authenticity and integrity between action and expectations that we place on ourselves to achieve certain goals can only succeed if we tailor it to not someone else's, but our own standards of believing and accomplishing. There is freedom in realization, and there is bravery in happiness. You are the maker of your own reality and how you choose to take the world. Because at the end of the day, this is your life where you don't need permission to do what matters to you, to pursue any and all public spirited objectives, and to make a difference. The dream of change was planted in your heart and your spirit for a reason. And to fulfill this reason, you need to let go of who you are now to make space for who you could be. And in this long marathon, remember that life is fluid. There are no definitive ways of being and knowing. The rest of us are pretending to know. The more you move and the more you appreciate little victories in your life is the only definitive way to know the wheres and the whats of life. A leader emerges not only because one chose to think and speak, but also because someone else actively chose to think and listen. We tend to connote this someone else with the inferiority of following. But isn't the leader simply vocalizing and making public the following of their own thoughts? We don't need to resign ourselves to fate. Sustainable development goals make headway and international agreements make headlines, Not because someone was fearless, but because that someone, at the least complex level of thinking and the overlapping dimensions of societal practicality, that someone chose to trust in the honesty and potential of the other side. Achieving our humanitarian objectives and setting the terms for our futures begins and ends, no matter where it concludes, with the thoughts that started with one person. And that one person is always going to be you, as long as you choose to listen to your courage and your spirit. Through infinite time and space, somehow, somewhere, both of our choices brought us here. And someday, my dear listener, I wish to hear you speak and I'll listen. So, in a world that wants you to whisper and muzzle you with silence, make sure that you cheer and you shout. In a world that wants you to hurry and chase material goals, stop for a moment and ask yourself, are you here to gasp or to breathe? Are you here to live or to survive? Of course, these questions are withstanding privilege, entitlement, and capitalism. But even with that, do we not owe it to ourselves and our future selves to find comfort in the discomfort of questioning the way things are? Together, we'll heal from our self made codes of existence that make and break us every single day that we're alive. But we'll create generations upon generations that won't need to heal. So, my dear listener, today and tomorrow, if ideas and people and you and I, if we continue to exist, so will the principle of our uninhibited and happy balloon. Thank you.